Hello. Hello, my name is Kirsten Person, and I did research on the effectiveness of non clinical interventions, the intervention being Narcotics Anonymous. What is Narcotics Anonymous? It is a worldwide peer support program for people recovering from drug addiction. It is based off of a 12-step model that focuses on honesty, accountability, and spiritual growth. Meetings are free, anonymous, and led by people in recovery, not clinicians. Members share their experiences, support each other, and work through 12 steps with a sponsor. NA is used in substance use treatment to give clients community support, structure, and real life accountability outside of therapy. And it was started in 1953 in California. And it came from, it came from AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. This man right here is Jimmy Kennan. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Like I said, he started in 1953 in Los Angeles. He actually took he was going to AA meetings in New York, and he took what he learned from AA because it helped him, and he took it back to California to basically copy and paste it into Narcotics Anonymous. Because he felt like people who were addicted to drugs needed their own support program. His drug of choice was actually codeine and pills that left him bankrupt. And I read that, he felt like he was not just bankrupt financially, but also in spirit and mentally and emotionally. He wasn't a good father and a husband because of his addiction. Like I was saying, it's used from the same foundations as AA, the 12-step program, peer support, anonymity, and spiritual approach, but expanded to all drugs. So Narcotics Anonymous is not focused on one drug, it's for all drugs. During the 50s and 60s, it grew slowly because addiction was highly stigmatized and resources were limited. We had the soldiers had just came back from World War I at the time, and the drugs that they had brought over, like heroin and stuff like that, when it came over, drugs were people that were caught with drugs were heavily criminalized. So they started forming these groups to get people off of the drugs. By 1970s, NA started to expand across the United States, then internationally. In the 1880s, NA published its basic text, which helped to unify the program and spread it worldwide. NA currently operates in 140 countries with over 70,000 meetings globally. How NA supports treatment. NA meetings provide a safe, supportive environment for discussing recovery challenges. Sponsor system, experienced members guide newcomers to come in. It encourages coping strategies, relapse prevention, and ongoing accountability. Can be used alongside therapy, counseling, and medication-assisted treatment, but complements clinicians' treatment by reinforcing recovery skills daily. Helps clients cope with craving, stress, and social pressures. These are the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, which is 1, admit that you are powerless over drugs and that your life has become unmanageable. Believe that there is a higher power greater than you that can help you restore your sanity. Make a decision to turn your will and your life over to the care of the higher power. Make searching and fearless moral inventory of yourself. Admit to yourself your higher power and another human being the exact nature of your wrongs. Be ready to have your higher power remove all the defects of your character. Humbly ask your higher power to remove your shortcomings. Make a list of all the people that you harmed and make amends with them. Make direct amends, but not if it's going to cause harm to that person or injure somebody. Continue to take personal inventory and admit when you are wrong. Seek through prayer and meditation, improve your conscious contact with your higher power. Praying for knowledge of their will and the power to carry it out. And carry the message to addicts and practice it in your life. What should you know about NA as a counselor before you give it recommend it to a client? NA is a strong support group outside of therapy. It helps clients stay accountable between sessions. It works best when counselor explains the structure, like the meetings and the sponsors and 12 steps. Not every client connects with the spiritual language, so it's nice if, as a counselor, we remind the clients of that. But also, doing my research, I found that NA use spiritual terms like higher power, and prayer, but it's not specific to one religion. A higher power basically could be your better self. It basically whatever, it wants you to believe in something other than yourself, so it gives you hope. But it can be anything. It's not, like I said, tied to anything. So that's a good thing to kind of let your clients know. And it helps clients build a routine, community, and sense of belonging, which reduces relapse. Counselors should encourage clients to try different meetings until they find the one that's most comfortable. And it is effective when used alongside clinical treatment, not instead of it. So it shouldn't just be used as a one, just by itself. It needs to be in correlation with a clinician's treatment or medication assistance. Sorry. Counselors, when they say counselors should encourage clients to try different meetings. So I went to an NA meeting myself a couple months ago, because right now I'm a peer recovery, a CPRS, and at the time I wasn't, but I wanted to kind of see the population that I'll be working with, and I wanted to go to a meeting myself. And from talking to the clients and the facility, I can't think of the facility right now, but it's in the inner city. But they have different groups, like women-led groups, just for women to feel safe, and other groups that your client can basically find which one fits them and resonates with them. Because what I found out that some clients do have, even though NA covers a wide range of drugs, some clients do kind of feel shame because they might feel like the drug of their choice may be embarrassing, or they might feel judged of their drug of choice. But it's not like that, and it's different groups for them to find their tribe, their community. How is NA, how to use NA effectively? Like I said, just encourage consistent attendance, recommend getting a sponsor, prepare clients for the spiritual component. But like I said, the spiritual component, they can literally pray to themselves. Like they can pray to their higher self. It doesn't have to be tied to any religious group, like I said. Combined with, it should be combined with the clinician's treatment. NA is most effective when it's paired with therapy, counselor, or, like I said, medication assisted treatments. Address the barriers that may come up. Some clients may feel anxious attending meetings and being judged about speaking in groups. Counselors should help clients process the fear of it. Recommend trying different meetings. Not all NA meetings feel the same. Counselors should encourage clients to explore different groups. Like I said before, it's different groups that they can attend, and emphasize the peer connections they have. Counselors should also explain the isolation increases relapse, while community strengthens you in recovery. When I went, there was a man that spoke up about, he had been clean for over 20 years. But he said he was constantly in recovery, so he still went. So you have some people that are in NA meetings that have been clean for years, but they still go to NA meetings, and they still go back to make sure that they can help other people that are struggling with addiction and that are on their recovery journey, to let them know that it's a non-stop process, that they still need each other, and they still are there to support each other. And then they told their testimonies as a way to basically, because they may resonate with somebody, to let them know they're not alone. Is NA effective? I found 3 studies. I only listed 2 in here, but I did list my references, the academic articles from our CCBC library. But one study, I think the question is more nuanced. It's not a yes or no question. I feel like yes, it is, but from my study, I found that in Iran in 2023, a sample of 40 participants were randomly selected to receive NA group therapy and or the control group with 20 participants in each. The experiment group engaged in a 12-step education package consisting of 12 weekly sessions, 90 minutes long. The study found out that NA groups significantly reduced impulsivity and improved brain behavior system. So people stay abstinent from their addiction for a long period of time with help NA. So this study says that yes, it is effective. This study and the other study that I will tell you about, even though it's not in the slide, basically showed that there wasn't a difference if you went to NA, if you didn't go to NA. But also I found out the NA meetings are not readily available the way you might think they are. There are more AA meetings than NA meetings. In this study found out that if you can't find an NA meeting, it's still helpful to go for a client to be recommended to go to an AA meeting. It's still effective. This study found out that basically it investigated the relationship between 12-step participants and continued abstinence among 322 patients in methadone maintenance treatment program in the northeastern U.S. The patients often struggle with multiple substances and life impairments, suggested a high need for supportive recovery programs. The findings showed that the study confirmed the patients achieved continued abstinence both with or without the 12-step involvement. And the older African American people basically kinship, family, church, and a higher power to get through recovery. The other study found out basically was the same thing kinda, and it showed that NA doesn't really make a difference. It's not really effective when it comes to treatment like that, but it's still valuable. It just once again has to be used in correlation with a clinician, not by itself. So NA is effective, but it's not to be used by itself. Because those peer relationships, they really help clients not really relapse. So I would say NA is effective. It's a great tool and resource to use. But like I said, just not by itself. But it's still a value. I think it's a great resource for community, and to just, if you like in between sessions, if you can't get to a client, just to be like they can go to an NA meeting or AA meeting, because they run them all day every day. And like I said, I was invited to a women's group. I went to a 1NA meeting that had a lot of people in it, and then I was invited to go to a women's group, and I had a great time. I think it's great, especially as counselors, to go. And that concludes my research on is it effective or not. It's effective in correlation with a clinician. And thank you.